Guys, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Now, my goal at the end of this video is that you will be able to confidently answer interview questions whenever they pop up. Now, what I've done is I've grouped together different interview questions that kind of have the same theme, and I'm going to be going back and forth between CEO mode and person who's answering the application question, just so it's clear to you guys. As an employer, for me, asked other employers as well what they think when they ask these questions during a job interview. And also, at the end of this video, I'm going to give you guys 3 questions that you can also ask your employer. Now, there are 3 things to keep in mind when you want to be able to communicate clearly during an interview. It's clarity, pause, and have examples. Now, what I mean with that is have the clarity, have a point to your story. And remember that you can pause and think about what you actually want to say and have examples. You can't just say, "Oh, I'm always on time," without giving examples of times when you've been under pressure, when you were able to still arrive on time or meet a deadline on time. So you have to give your own life examples of your own answers as well, and not just give something very vague and very generic when it comes to your answers. Now, without further ado, I'm going to start asking the questions. I'm going to show you guys what I need as an employer and how to answer these questions. So, Ms. Lacaba, tell me about yourself. What are your strengths? What are your weaknesses? Just let us know. So my name is Lacaba. I've actually been a content creator since I was 12. I was part of our journalistic club all throughout from high school to college. And I've also been able to create my own blog when I was 14 and got my first paid writing gig when I was 15 online. And throughout the couple of years, I've written 4 magazines. I've been able to write my own books that are published currently on Amazon. And I also still have my blog that I still maintain. And I also create videos on YouTube and then on Facebook as well. As a writer, I feel like my biggest strength is being able to puke out content and put it out there into the universe, being an action taker and being someone who can be organized enough to get things done. I'm also really awesome at creating systems such as an editorial calendar and making sure that process still flows. My biggest weakness is being able to prioritize. I sometimes prioritize too many things at once, which of course causes me to have a little bit of a breakdown sometimes, but I'm able to rise above it because I've already created systems behind me to make sure that that part of me is taken care of. So for that question, as an employer, I'm looking at how your experience or your life so far has taken you to this point, because I want to see how life has brought you to this time, to having to apply into this job position. So whenever this question comes up, the best way to be prepared for it is actually already think about answering this question. So what I mean with that is that this question is going to come up. So think about how you are fit for this job position, how the events that happen in your life, you don't even have to dive into your personal life, just in your work life, how it brought you to the here and now. So this question of tell me about yourself, what are your strengths, what are your weaknesses. You're trying to see how you can fit and how your strength and your weaknesses can fit into the company. So the best way that you can answer this is kind of being a little bit authentic, and at the same time you're spinning it to how you can be able to contribute to the company. So for example, for me, one of my weaknesses is the lack of prioritization. Now that they know that if they're going to give me any tasks, they have to give me prioritization with the other tasks they've already given me. Now, what are your goals? Where do you see yourself in 5 years? Where do you see yourself going in 10, 25 years? Up to you. My goal in the next 5 years is to be able to help you guys grow your content and your content team, because I believe so much into your guys' story, something that actually resonates with me a lot, and it's something that I want to help voice out and share into the world. Now, when it comes to answering your goals and where you see yourself in 5 years, this is just one of the other interview questions that you have to already prepare for. You know that it's coming. You know that it's going to be one of the questions they're going to ask during the interview. To make sure that you don't freeze, already think about it. If you're going to be in this job position for the next 5 years, where do you see yourself? Or if you have goals beyond that, you can also tell them a little bit about it. As an employer, I want to see that you're someone who is looking forward to be in this company in the next 5 years, the next 10 years maybe, and you're not just someone that I'm going to hire for the next 6 months and then I'm going to have to train someone else all over again. Keep in mind that when you're trying to apply for a job, you are filling a position that they need, that they saw that they needed to pay money for. So you have to keep that in mind, that when you want to project that you're someone who is planning to stay here for the long run and not just get a few experience and then leave. This will also show them, when you have goals, of what are the things that you're looking forward to in this job position. What are the things that you want to grow into? And with the goals, you can look at what the company's goals itself. Usually they put it on their website. Usually it even might be in the job ad itself. And then you can look at their org chart if they have one and see what are the seniority positions that maybe you can get into. Now, could you please describe your home office situation? So currently, my home office situation is I currently have 10 Mbps of internet coming off of our home internet itself. I have about 8 to 10 also Mbps going off of my phone as a backup. And I also have a couple of different cafes that I can go to if that internet fails. I also have a good mid-range laptop. And if you guys need the specs, I'll send that over, but it is what I use to write my articles on and my blog posts as well. As for my general work environment, I live with 4 other roommates. They're generally pretty quiet. We don't have any kids around, so that's not going to be that noisy. But if need be, I can always go to a nearby cafe if there's any need for any voice calls. Now, when it comes to describing your home office, especially if you're going to be mostly working from home, they actually want to know your internet situation, your electricity situation, your laptop, noise, or if you have kids. They want to kind of have a general idea of what your environment looks like because you guys aren't going to be in an office. They won't be able to control that environment. So when it comes to that question, you have to keep in mind any backups because that's one of the questions that they'll ask. What if your internet goes out? What if your electricity goes out? What if it's too noisy there and you can't work? So even before the interview, already think of the different ways that you can have as backups. So for example, if you lose internet or electricity at home, think about all of the cafes that could be near you that have internet connection or already have your phone data as a backup for times of desperate need. And if you do have kids, if you have a noise situation, have already a backup plan of how you can address that when it comes to working from home. With describing your home office, it's best to just be truthful. It's best to see if having this job, if having noise around you, if having slow internet is going to cost you your job, if it's going to slow down any of your work. So keep that in mind when you're answering that question. Now, how would you handle stress and pressure? So I actually work really well under stress and pressure, mostly because I'm able to organize my thoughts really quickly. So for example, as a content creator, I constantly work under deadlines. I make sure to set myself different deadlines and make sure that I meet them. So one time I was given a deadline that was within 24 hours, a project within 24 hours, and I was able to actually reprioritize everything else so I could focus on that one project and actually finish it within the time frame. Probably already expect that there's going to be stress, there's going to be pressure during a job, and they're trying to see how they can best handle and manage you when those things do happen. So why should we hire you? What are the things that you can offer the company and why should we hire you over anyone else? So I believe that you guys should hire me and not any other applicant because I have the experience that you guys need. I'm also still very much willing to learn. Curiosity is one of my superpowers. So I'm willing to learn and expand my growth and see what else I can do for this world. What I can offer is someone who can be very creative, someone who can just puke out content, but at the same time be organized and work under deadlines. So now why shouldn't we hire you? No, you guys shouldn't hire me, or you should choose someone else if I'm not the right fit. If the content you guys are thinking is not something that's going to be my forte, although I'm willing to learn, something about the way that I'm going to have my situation working from home is not a fit. Because I understand that the whole point of the interview process is for you guys to see and find a fit for your company. Generally, keep in mind that this whole application process is trying to see if you're going to be a match or not. It's trying to see if your skills is what they need for the job position. So don't take it personally if they're not going to hire you anyway, even if you did ace the interview. So in this point of the interview, do you have any questions for us? So I have 3 questions that I really want to ask you guys. First one is, what are the short-term goals for this job position? What can I look forward to? And what are the things that I kind of have to already start studying to be able to be caught up? Second one is, what are the tools that you guys are using for communication and task management? And the third one is, what are the hours that I need to be online and what times can I be off? Make sure to comment below any other interview questions that you guys want me to cover, and I'll be more than happy to make another video for you guys on it. I hope you guys really enjoyed this video, and I want to make sure that if you guys are doing a chat interview, that you can go through this video at any point. So I put in below timestamps of the different questions and the times that I've answered them. Now, if you guys like this video, make sure to hit thumbs up right there so I know that this is the kind of content you guys like. And also hit subscribe and a notification bell so you guys know the next videos that I have coming up. Now, in the next video, I'm actually going to do a day in the life of a digital nomad who's quarantined, which is me. So it's going to be a new schedule. I'm going to start posting on Thursday. That should be interesting of me trying to add more content because I've been consistent for a month now. Yay! Now, I hope you guys have an awesome day, and remember that small steps matters. I'll see you in the next video.